Hey there, John Gibson here. Now, I'm excited to talk to you guys today. Now, after helping my wife lose 70 pounds in about 6 months with her PCOS symptoms, I've made it my life's passion and my life's work to be able to help other women with PCOS and be able to overcome your symptoms, be able to lose the weight finally, and be able to keep it off forever. Now, today I want to talk to you about what I call the recipe for PCOS, how to lose the weight, how to get it off, because if you follow the right recipe, you're guaranteed to see success. But here's kind of the problem that I see out in the world when I talk to women with PCOS who are struggling to lose weight and have been told forever they can't lose weight, or they believe that it's just not possible for them, okay? Here's typically what I see happen, is that someone's going out there and they're almost grabbing the wrong ingredients, okay? So just imagine this for a second, okay, really quick. So imagine someone were to go out and try to, find about 10 different recipes. Okay, and they grab different recipes, some are for cookies, some are for cakes, some are for different size cakes and things like that, and they want to bake a cake. Now, what would happen if they went to the cookie recipe and said, there's a couple ingredients here I like. It calls for like a cup of flour. I'll take a cup of flour. Then they go to a recipe of a cake, but it's a huge cake, right? And it's calling for, let's say, 3 or 4 cups of sugar. And they're like, oh, you know what? Let me grab the 3 or 4 cups of sugar because that sounds really good. And they start throwing things together from different recipes. What would eventually happen, right? That would probably be the most disgusting cake you've ever had. But this is basically exactly what I see people do all the time. Okay, they're going out to different coaches or different programs or different things, trying to get ideas on how to, create the best plan for themselves. And so they go to one and say, okay, well, these guys are exercising this way, maybe I'll try that. Oh, and these people are eating this way, maybe I'll try that. And this one says don't exercise, and this one says do exercise. And so what I'll do is I'll mix and match, and then eventually create like what I call a Franken program that's not going to be able to help you succeed. Now, before I forget, I'm going to get into this whole recipe in just a second, but before I forget, I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to get more information if you need to, okay? So what I want to do is you can go to a website called fatextractionmethod.com. Again, that's fatextractionmethod.com, and you can actually schedule an appointment to be able to work with me to be able to figure out everything for you, to teach you this whole recipe and make sure we find the right recipe for you. So if you're interested in that, go to fatextractionmethod.com and, all right, we'll do that, okay? So what I want to do is kind of get into all of these things really quickly, okay? So what is the right recipe, okay? What's the right recipe for PCOS? What do we need to do? And some of these things are going to be, you've heard them before, but we're going to dive a little bit deeper into a few of these at a later date and kind of explain them a little more. But for example, the first thing that we need to do is not nutrition, okay? But it is nourishment, okay? Because here's the problem that I see. When someone talks about nutrition, what they do is they tend to say, okay, what I need to do is I need to make sure that I'm restricting this or eliminating that or not eating this. And so we have this whole deprivation mindset, this restriction mindset of what I can or can't eat. And I always find this really interesting. When I do like a free coaching session or a free something, and I have a lot of people come and they'll get some information from me. And what tends to happen is someone will say, okay, so no soda, no chocolate, right? And I go, why? Why not? Well, why can't you have those? And they go, well, but every other plan says that. Again, that's the recipe from every other plan. Even though I have not said those things, right away, everyone assumes those things. And then they'll come to me and say, oh man, I've tried all these different plans, but you know what? It's just rice. I love rice, or I love bread, and I just can't seem to give it up. So, well, why do you need to give it up? Okay? Because I'm not concerned about what you need to take out of your diet. I'm concerned about what you're putting in your diet. And that's where we need to make sure we're getting nourishment. If you were to make sure that you were adding the right things into your diet, you wouldn't have to worry so much about what you need to take out of your diet. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, the second thing that we need to work on is what I call fat extraction exercises, okay? Okay, fat extraction exercises. Now, again, in the later video, I'll get in a lot more detail about what this is, what these fat extraction exercises actually are and everything, but I want you to kind of understand these things. Because again, a lot of people will say, well, I just need to exercise, right? And that's just like saying, well, for a recipe, I just need sugar. well, what type of sugar? The other day I was actually sitting down and writing an email similar topic to this, and I just threw out 3 recipes, and I said, okay, there's chocolate, there's a lime, maybe I think I said a lime or lemon cake, and then there is a Bavarian cream. I just thought about those things, right? Threw them out there, and I was writing about them, and I said, I wonder what the ingredients actually are for these 3 different cakes, and I went and looked. One calls for powdered sugar, one calls for granulated sugar, and one calls for brown sugar. So if you were just to say, I just need sugar, and you just threw it into your recipe, but the recipe would actually function a whole lot better if you got a different type of sugar, whether it's granulated, powdered, or brown sugar, whatever it might be, right? That can change what happens with the recipe, right? I'm not a cooking expert, okay? But I do understand that following these recipes is just like chemistry. You got to make sure the ingredients are right. And it's not just, I've got to have sugar, but it's, what's the consistency? How does it work and mix with water and all the other ingredients that are in there? But what we do within this whole thing is we just say, I just need to exercise. So again, I'll have people come to me and say, well, I'm exercising 6 days a week. I say, well, what are you doing? Well, I'm walking. Okay, walking's good. But, and again, in later training, what I'm going to do is go deeper into these things. But walking is good, but it's in a specific ingredient for a specific way of losing weight. So if you're using walking as your exercise, you've got to make sure that your nourishment is taken care of in a different way. If you're using lifting weights to exercise, you've got to make sure your nourishment is in a different way. These things have to work together. You can't just change one and not change the other. Okay, does that make sense? So we need to make sure that we're having all these things work together. So what I call fat extraction exercises are exercises that are specific to making sure that your body breaks down fat. And again, I'll have people say, well, I'm burning so many calories in my workout. And I'll say, I don't care how many calories you're burning in your workout. What I care is, how high are you raising certain hormones that break down fat? How much are you making it so that you can actually break the fat down, use it the rest of the day? Okay, that's what I'm concerned about. That can happen in 5 minutes, that can happen over 30 minutes. It just depends on what type of exercise you're doing, how hard you're working, things like that. Okay, so these things need to be working together. If you change one, you've got to change the other one also. Just like if you're going to make a cake and you decide I want to make a bigger cake, okay, I'm going to add more sugar. We've got to add more flour and more of the other ingredients. You can't just increase one ingredient and hope that it tastes the same or comes out the same. You've got to make sure that everything is changed together. So that's one issue that I see people do is they change their workout program, but they don't have their nourishment, their nutrition is not in alignment with that. Okay, does that make sense? Now, the third one is mindset. Okay, so what do I mean by mindset? And really it comes down to our beliefs about what we can do, what we can't do. Now, this is one of my big pet peeves, is I'll hear people say they went to the doctor, found out they had PCOS, and then the doctor told them certain things. The doctor told them, 1, now you have PCOS, you can't lose weight. That's what my wife was told, right? But then after a couple minutes later, the doctor told her, but you need to lose weight. Didn't make any sense. She can't lose weight, but she's supposed to? Come on, why, right? So that's one problem I see is when doctors go to someone and say, you can't lose weight. The next thing, and this I guess doesn't necessarily deal with weight loss, but I also hear people say things that like, the doctor will say, well, you have PCOS, chances are you can't have children. When the truth is, only 20% of women with PCOS struggle with infertility. The majority don't. But the problem is most people don't find out they have PCOS until they have struggled with infertility. So a lot of women are walking around with PCOS and just don't know it. They have all the symptoms, but they don't realize it, and because they're not dealing with infertility, they don't really get tested, or the doctors aren't as educated on it to really know how to diagnose it, okay? So that's kind of some of the issues. But the big thing is the doctors say you can't lose weight. So now it's ingrained in your mind, oh, I can't lose weight, I have PCOS. People don't realize how hard it is to lose weight. Well, what I found is a lot of my clients will come to me and say that it's so hard to lose weight with PCOS. Then they start following the recipe, and then eventually they go, wow, I didn't realize it would be this easy. I didn't realize it was going to not take that much effort. I didn't realize that I could eat some of the foods I enjoy. But I didn't, but I'm still seeing results, right? So that's what we want to do is kind of change that mindset. There's something called the placebo effect. You've heard of that before. The placebo effect basically is if you believe in something, it will work. So for example, with medicine, when they're doing research on medicine, what they'll do is they'll actually say, okay, here's a medicine and here's a sugar pill. They won't tell people what they're getting. They'll say, hey, we're going to give you a medicine to see if it helps out. They give them one or the other. We always see if someone takes the sugar pill, almost 100% of the time, they see similar improvements as they do with the medicine. So for example, if it was supposed to be a medicine to take away pain, right? They take that placebo, that sugar pill, all of a sudden their pain goes away or starts to go away. Okay, and the way they know that the medicine works is if it's stronger and better than the placebo. But we always see the placebo group do better than someone who doesn't get the medication or anything at all. Okay, so on the flip side of that, that's a placebo. On the flip side, there's something called the nocebo effect. Okay, the nocebo effect. The nocebo effect is if you believe it won't work, it doesn't. Okay, if you believe that a certain medication will not work for you, it doesn't work for you. Okay, if you believe that you cannot lose weight, you won't be able to lose weight. Okay, that's the nocebo effect. So we need to fix that. We need to change that so that you have the right mindset to be able to see the results you want to see. And I've seen people also play the victim card. And I don't want to diminish anyone in their experience, okay, in saying this. My wife, I've seen her struggles. I've been there alongside of her. I've struggled with her through her conditions and everything she's dealt with. And so I'm not diminishing that whatsoever. But, I think about one person in particular that I've been coaching for a little while. And when I first started working with her, I just remember the conversation we had. She broke down into tears and was just why was I cursed with this? Why this? And just complaining about her condition and talking about how horrible and bad it is and how she's a victim of that condition and how that condition has made her gain weight. And that because of that, she's got all these different struggles, right? Now, today, she talks completely different. She's a completely different person. She doesn't think about herself as a victim. She thinks of herself, well, this is what I've been given. This is how I need to adjust things. This is what I do. And I'm seeing good results. Okay? We've got to change the mindset. Okay? And again, it's got to play with all of these. Now, the next thing on here is accountability. Okay? So we're going to write down here. Okay, accountability. Okay? Now, why do we need accountability? You may think to yourself, well, I'm good, I do what I need to do, but are you doing the right things? Okay, so accountability is to make sure you're not only just doing what you need to do, but you're doing the right things that you need to do. I have people all the time, clients who will reach out to me and say, hey, this is what I did. I did what I was supposed to do. And I'll say, well, hold on, I think your understanding was a little bit off, and so we need to make sure that you're doing the right things. Or they'll say, well, I'm exercising. Well, cool, what type of exercise? Well, I'm lifting weights. Awesome, that's great. How are you lifting weights? And then we get a little bit deeper into it. We find out, here's some tweaks we need to make. Okay, so not only are we making sure you're doing the things that you need to be doing, but also making sure that you're doing the right things. Okay, does that make sense? So there's got to be accountability. Okay, now real quick, I'm just going to put this in here. Okay, if you want me to help you on the accountability side, make sure you know what you need to do, all of those things. Go to fatextractionmethod.com and go fill out an application, and you and I can have a conversation about that. Okay, sound good? Now, the last thing, this is something that not everyone really thinks about, but the last thing is this, community. Okay, we need to have some sort of a community that we can work with, or that we're there alongside. And this kind of goes back to the mindset also, that placebo or nocebo effect, okay? Because I'm surprised at the number of women that I talk to who jump into either my group or something like that, who are wondering, is it possible to see certain types of results? And then once they get into a program, they start seeing other people with the same conditions, same situation, same thing going on. They're seeing results, and all of a sudden they go, whoa, it's possible. Okay, give you an example. You've got the 4-minute mile, right? Back, I don't remember when it was, back in the early 1900s. Roger Bannister was the first person to ever run a 4-minute mile. But before that, they believed that it was physically impossible to do that if you did it, your heart would burst. Well, he did it. 3 months later, someone broke his record. And since then, there's been something like, 1,400 people or 14,000, I can't remember, big number. But a lot of people have been able to do the same thing. Okay, just this week, someone actually ran a marathon in under 2 hours. That was the first time it was ever done. And now, here's what everyone's saying. Everyone that I talk to is saying, guess what? It's going to start happening over and over and over again. People are going to start doing it, and it's probably going to happen in the next few months. Someone else is going to do it. Whereas before, for years, for decades, for maybe centuries, no one's ever done this, right? Okay, same type of thing happens when it comes to PCOS. We have that belief, and then we get in with the community, and we realize we're not alone. I'm not alone with these symptoms. I'm not alone with this condition. I'm not alone with this struggle. But I'm also not alone in the ability to actually see results. And it's amazing watching these women make this change. Okay, so this is the general PCOS fat loss recipe. Okay, you've got to have nourishment. You've got to do these fat extraction type exercises. You've got to work on your mindset, accountability, community. By putting these all together in the right combinations, all those things, you'll start seeing success. You'll start seeing results. Okay? Now, in later trainings, in the next coming weeks or so, I'm going to kind of break each of these down. We'll talk more about the nourishment side of things and how to actually do that. We'll talk more about the fat extraction exercises and how to do those things. And again, the mindset, accountability, and community, how to actually build your own community if you need one, and things like that, okay? But as for today, this is all I've got for you. Now, if you want me to help you and you don't want to wait for another weeks or several weeks out to get all this information, if you want to get the information now, if you want to start applying this recipe yourself and individualize the recipe to your own needs, go ahead and go to fatextractionmethod.com and I'll see you there, okay? Go fill out an application, we can talk more and we can get this all figured out. So thanks for being here and I will talk to you all later. Hey there, I hope you liked this video and I hope you got something from it, something you can go and apply today. And if you did, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and like this video. And more importantly, go ahead and share it with your friends so that they can get the same benefit that you have. Thanks for watching, and I've got more to share with you in the coming weeks.